didn't say it went live here. Did you see that it was being
I did.
recorded?
Yeah, I saw that it's being recorded and said okay.
Okay, well, we're going to be a little sloppy here at the beginning then. But hi, I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. Welcome to Connections on Purpose. Whether you're here with us live on Zoom, watching us on Facebook, or watching later on YouTube, I'm glad you're here. This is a time where you can slow down, fill up, and connect with other heart-centered women who are making their unique difference in the world. And I'm blessed to have one of those women with me today. Lori Pieper is speaking on the joy of paying taxes. Really? Lori is an author, architect of joy, and founder of Journey to Inner Joy. She empowers overwhelmed women to live their lives with clarity, presence. Oh, I said presence, passion, presence too, I think.
Let's do
And her
it.
unique programs combine the woo-woo of ancient sages with the wow of modern science. Lori's clients find their courage to set appropriate boundaries and make brave choices in alignment with their heart and soul. This takes them from burnout to balance, reclaiming their joy. You can find out more about Lori at journeytoinnerjoy.com, and that link is also in the text of this video. Lori, I want to hear all you have to say about the joy of paying taxes. So you're
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. So happy tax day, right? So if you're in the US today, your taxes are due. You have until midnight. Don't panic. Well, maybe you should panic. I don't know. But I want to talk about the joy of paying taxes. Is it really joyful? And it's more about, today is more about how we talk to ourselves. Because if you are one of those that still hasn't paid your taxes, you're probably saying, I have to do my taxes today. We had a conversation in our breakout room about have tos, and one of them was, I have to do my taxes. But when we use the word have to, we're actually stealing a little bit of our power. And there's a saying we have here in the US, you only have to die and pay taxes. And that may be in other countries as well. You only have to die and pay taxes. But I challenge you on that, because really, truly, the only thing you have to do is die. Yes, somewhere along the lines, this physical body of yours is going to leave this physical world. That's a have to. Taxes, not so much. Now, there are serious consequences for not paying your taxes. And that's why we usually say I have to pay my taxes, because we don't want to get saddled with these severe consequences and having to owe the country even more money in taxes. So this is about how we talk to ourselves, because when we say have to, we are taking away our power slowly, bit by bit, taking away our power. And I'm going to ask you all to do a couple exercises with me here in a moment. But think about when you say have to versus want to versus get to versus choose to. There's all these words, and words do matter. We say it without even thinking about it, and it's not really benefiting us a lot of times, the way we use our language. And the language in general is very limited. We know that, because it can't always express how we feel exactly. But I encourage you, I invite you to do a little exercise with me. So close your eyes if you feel safe doing so, and put one hand on your heart center and one hand on your belly, if you're comfortable doing that. If you're not comfortable, put your hand somewhere on your body, and take a deep inhale, and make sure you're expanding your belly on the inhale, and exhale with a sigh. And do that a couple more times while I explain why this is useful. You are Too often we are in fight or flight mode especially in the US. There's always pressure to do more, do more, do more, do more. And when we take a moment and inhale, expanding our belly, and exhale with a sigh, that tells your autonomic nervous system that you are safe. And it will get you out of fight and flight and into rest and restore. Well, why is that important? That's important because, as I like to say, stress makes you stupid. Now, why do I say stress makes you stupid? Because think back to when you said something to someone or did something and you totally regretted it. You were probably in stress mode because the blood literally is redirected somewhat from the rational, compassionate part of your brain to your reactionary brain. So when you are in this fight or flight mode, you are not thinking clearly. And that's why I say you're in stupid mode, because we tend to make stupid mistakes. I know that doesn't sound very nice, but it gets people's attention. So when we close our eyes, put one hand on our heart center and one on our belly, and take a deep inhale, expanding our belly, and exhale with a sigh. The expansion of your belly and that sigh both help to get you into rest and restore. And there you can tap into the feelings in your body. So that's the other part of this that I want us to experience. So why tap into your body? Because your brain is keeping you safe. And it does a good job. And unfortunately, oftentimes it does too good of a job, because what happens is it keeps us stuck. So maybe you want to change jobs. Maybe you want to apply for a promotion. Maybe you want to go out on your own and become an entrepreneur. And your brain, you start asking yourself pros and cons, and you're in your brain, and your brain is like, whoa, don't go there. That's scary. Do you know how many entrepreneurs fail in the first 5 years? Do you know? And so our brain is oftentimes keeping us stuck. I appreciate my brain. It does keep me from, it does allow me to be safe when I'm about to do something that could be dangerous. Nothing too dangerous. But it also, every time we have felt bad about something or fearful of something, your brain reminds you, oh, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. And this is why, and people are going to judge, and all these reasons. So when we ask ourselves, do I want to do XYZ? Should I do XYZ? If we're just in our brain, we're not getting the full picture. Our body has our true desires in it, our true desires. And it doesn't matter exactly where you put your hands on your body. The point of putting your hands physically on your body helps you to get out of your brain and into your body. And then from there, you can listen to the signals from your body. I forget what it was, but my partner Dave and I were out somewhere, and he said, "Hey, you want to do XYZ?" And immediately my body just shrunk. And I said, "No." And he's like, "Why not?" I'm like, "I can't explain it. I just know that I'm not supposed to do what," and I don't even remember what it was. And he just kind of looks at me funny. But when I'm feeling and making decisions from my body, I also empower myself to say no without feeling like I have to apologize. So, because you may not know why, but you know. So let's get back to feeling into our body. So close your eyes, one hand on your heart center, one hand on your belly, if you're comfortable doing that. And take a couple of deep inhales, expanding your belly, and exhaling with a sigh. And now I'm going to invite you to repeat to yourself, I have to pay my taxes. I have to pay my taxes. And just pay attention to your body. Are you getting any responses from your body? Is your heart fluttering? Is your stomach churning? Anything? Do you have a toe twinge? Whatever. And now say to yourself, I get to do my taxes. I get to do my taxes. Does it feel any different? How about I want to do my taxes? I want to do my taxes. And finally, I choose to do my taxes. I choose to do my taxes. Now, depending on how, you can open your eyes now, depending on how in tune you are with your body, you may or may not have felt a difference. Um, have to, when I recognize I'm saying have to, I feel my body kind of shrinks. And then I'm almost like, no, I don't. In a way of, when mom says you have to do this or a teacher says you have to do that, and immediately, even if you want to do it, it's kind of like, I don't have to do anything. I'm independent, just that feeling, right? Um, but have to really take some of your power away. You're essentially, when I say to myself, I have to do my taxes, I'm I'm telling myself I don't have a choice. That is not my choice, but it really is my choice. And the others, the get to, I get to do my taxes. Woohoo. Get to do your taxes. Anytime you say I get to, it's more, I get to do something fun that I want to do. Hey, I get to go to Reds opening day. That's fun. That's baseball, by the way, if you're not familiar with the Cincinnati Reds. Um, I get to go skiing. So it's something fun. When you say get to, those are usually words like this is something you want to do and you're excited about it. Want to, um, I want to pay my taxes. Well, I do believe that at least a portion of our taxes do go to things that benefit us, that benefit the community. We have paved roads, we have bridges over rivers, we have schools, we have firefighters, and so yes, our taxes do go to good things that are good for the community. And yeah, even some fun things, the parks. We have great parks in the area where I live. And, but do I really feel at the time like I want to pay my taxes? Maybe not so much. And then choose to. For me, choose to works because it's not saying that I like it or I hate it. It's just saying I choose to pay my taxes. I'm avoiding the severe consequences. Now, why is this important? It's important because of how many times we say, without even thinking about it, I have to. I have to do my laundry. I have to pay, I have to pay my bills. Okay, yeah. Do you really have to do your laundry? Eventually, but is it a have to or a choose to? I have to cook dinner. Is it a have to or a choose to? But again, when we use the word have to, we are stealing some of our energy. And I asked the ladies in the On Purpose Woman group earlier to think of 3 things that they have to do. And now I'm going to ask you, and I ask anyone who's watching this now, to think of 3 things that you have to do, or that you're telling yourself I have to do. And one of them may be taxes. And then look at those 3 things, whether you do it now or maybe do it after this, and ask yourself, do I really have to? Okay, maybe not. Um, do I want to? Do I choose to? And the words we use do matter. And the biggest part of this whole message here that I have is as women, particularly, we tend to say yes because we feel we have to, when we really want to say no. your spouse, your significant other ask you, hey, you want to go dancing tonight? Well, probably a lot of spouses don't do that. Hey, you want to go to the ball game tonight? And you hate going to the ball game, but you feel obligated. You kind of tell yourself, well, I guess I have to go. I don't want to disappoint him. I guess I have to go. You don't have to. But if you choose to, that's great. Not only when you change your words, do you change your how you feel about going, but you're going to have more fun because you recognize that you have chosen to go. And when we say, oh, I guess I have to go, then you're just kind of like, oh, I don't really want to go. I don't really want to be there, but I have to go. It makes a huge difference in your life, in your energy. And that's why it's really important, I believe, to recognize how we are talking to ourselves. How are we talking to ourselves? Do you really have to do these things? And again, I do it all the time. It's habit. I have to do laundry, but have to steals your energy. So be more conscious about it and making wise decisions. So when we think about our have tos, do you really have to? Ask what, or is it a choice? Is it a consequence I'm avoiding? Or is it just something I don't want to do right now? We were talking about doing yard work, and it's like 84 degrees and very humid. I I'm not good in that air. I have a hard time breathing. So I would choose not to go out and do any yard work. But if something really needed to be done, I would choose to go out and do that. So hopefully this is making some sense that we're why it's important to understand and pay attention to your words. And then discern what are the consequences. Is it better for me to go out and to a ball game? I personally like going to baseball games and stuff, but doing something that you don't like to do, um, in order to make a friend, family member, partner feel good, that comes back to us, and then we end up feeling good as well. Or is it something that's it's a hard stop no? And and then do you have the courage to stick up for yourself and say, no, I'm exhausted. I cannot do that this evening. And there are ways to say no in kind ways. For instance, hey, I would love to go to the game with you, but not tonight. I really not tonight. Let's look at our calendar and we'll schedule a time. For your boss, for those of you who have bosses, you are swamped. You're going to be working late anyway, and your boss comes and says, hey, I need you to do this. There's a way to say, you know, I would love to help out, but let's look at what's already on my list of things to do. And you can help me to prioritize that. And a lot of times that's all you need for the boss to say, well, okay, maybe I can give this to somebody else, or they'll take something off your list. And I've experienced this as well, because there were just times I could not, when I was working in corporate, I just couldn't do anymore. It just wasn't possible. And yeah, choose what else to take off my plate. Do it in a kind way when you say yes first, or okay first, something positive first. That opens their mind when you start with no, or are you kidding me? then then you're kind of putting up barriers, putting up a wall, and they're not going to be um as open to listening to you. Sometimes they'll just shut down and just say, just do it. There are ways to say no to family. There are ways to say no to others and yes to yourself. There's actually I'll have to search up there is a link to a really good article. Um, and I'll put that in the Facebook comments about how to say no to your boss. Because that's probably for women in business, that's probably the biggest thing is saying yes to your boss all the time because the fear of getting fired, fear of not getting that raise, fear of um, whatever, getting yelled at, I don't know. Um, there are more ways to say no to to your boss in order to take time for you. So tapping into your body helps a lot. We want to make sure that your choices are your choices. It's not a chore, it's a choice. And I invite you to pay attention to tap in more to how you're talking to yourself, especially when you're about to say yes or no to someone. Someone's asking you to do something you really don't want to do. Tap into that. I have to say yes. No, you don't. Tap into what your needs are and then weigh the pros and cons. Your first reaction, I'm an introvert, my partner's an extrovert. So he's always wanting to go, 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 go. And I'm like, enough already, enough already. So I know as an introvert, I know I need more me time. I need more downtime. I need more quiet time. He needs more out there time. And we work it out. We understand. But I have to honor my needs and he has to honor his needs. And we come together when, hey, yeah, sometimes I might be exhausted, but I decide I want to go. I'm okay going. But it's a choice. We have a choice. So happy tax day. I hope you have all chosen to do your taxes and have not chosen to maybe take the consequences of not paying your taxes. And it's really not all that bad doing your taxes. Okay, I'm not even going to go there. That's just a lie. So with that, thank you very much. Thank you for paying attention. Let me know in chat or in the Facebook comments. If you have any questions or feedback, I would love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lori, great points, great reminder. And I want to ask those who are with us, we have a small group here on Zoom today, but ask you to unmute yourself so that Lori can hear our appreciation through, good old applause and
Thank
woohoos and all
you.
that stuff.
Woohoo,
So
woohoo, very nice.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
that.
Choose,
And
choose.
Thank
when we
you.
end this recording, Lori, and we go into chatting a little bit about your talk, I've got a really nice short story that will illustrate what you said so beautifully.
Excellent.
So I want to thank all of you who joined us here live today or catching the replay. Thank you for being part of our community. If you'd like to get more involved in the On Purpose Woman Global community, join us for a future Connections on Purpose gathering. Read On Purpose Woman magazine. Go to my website, opwgc.com. That stands for On Purpose Woman Global Community. And the link for that is also in the text of this video. You'll find inspiration, connection, and opportunities to grow, both personally and professionally, all while staying true to who you are. And so until next time we're together, stay inspired, stay connected, and stay grounded in your purpose. Thanks for watching.